Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? This is Royce the 5'9". I want to make sure that I got everybody here and make sure that everybody can hear me. So let me first make sure, is this supposed to be turned up? Let me see. Okay. Now let me see if I can see you guys' feed so I can. These questions that you guys are sending me. How's everybody doing? What's up? Of course, you know me. This is Royce the 5'9", and the purpose of this stream is really because I haven't spoken to you guys in a minute. And I'm sure you're wondering what the whole shit is with me giving you my 0509. It's just a way for me to connect with you and obviously get you into my system so I can give you things everybody else get them, or just music or anything that we want to do. I may come into your town and I may send everybody a text saying, whoever's in fucking Milwaukee, come meet up with me real quick. Let's go get something to eat and let me play you some music. It's just like a 2016 thing. It's just a way for us to break down the wall, that celebrity wall that I never had up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've never really, if you know anything about me, you know I've never really been big on the whole fame thing. You know, I'm just like a regular guy. I like to carry myself like a regular person and just make music. And I like everything to start with the music. I don't like everything to be about what is he doing outside the booth. I like everything to begin with the music and then we start from there. You know, I'm kind of like old school with it. So obviously I'm not going to take up too much of your time. We're just going to answer some questions and just have a little fun. This live stream is sponsored by Monster Energy Drink. Okay, so let me look at some questions. Archdog879 asked me, he said, we need another Bad Meets Evil album. What's up with the Slaughterhouse album? I 100% agree with you about the Bad Meets Evil album. The only thing about those albums is that they always happen at a time where it's just me and Marshall not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happened. Like, when we did the very first Bad Meets Evil shit back in '98, we were just around each other. It wasn't nothing going on for those couple days, and we just recorded some shit just because we like to stay sharp, and then we ended up coming up with something that we felt was cool, and we just wanted to put it out, which is exactly what happened when we did the Bad Meets Evil EP a few years back. I went to him with a couple of songs that I had for my solo shit. I asked him to get on some shit, and we ended up holding on to it, and then he came to me with a couple of joints that he wanted me to get on, which turned into 6 or 7 songs that we were just sitting on, so we just decided to put them out. And all of that happened while we were going, you know, so, you know, you can't let MCs just sit around, especially not around each other. That's the same thing that happens with Slaughterhouse. Like, that's the same way that the last mixtape happened with Slaughterhouse. It was like, we were just sitting, we all happened to be in New York. We went in the studio for 3-4 days and banged out all of those songs and just put them out. You know, sometimes it just happens like that. It's real cool to be progressive that way. So now in terms of the Slaughterhouse album, we're pretty much done with it creatively. Just is done doing what he was supposed to do. He did an incredible job. Everybody did their part. Now it's kind of like in the laps. It's kind of like on the desk of the business people, you know. So now we got to talk rollout. We got to figure out when is a good time to release. We got to talk about all of that kind of stuff. And this happens when you sign to a major label. Unfortunately, it's hard to just pull the trigger and shit just moves like that. So just be patient. The Slaughterhouse album is definitely coming. If I had to guess, I would say sometime in spring that it's coming. All right. I know, you know, that's probably not the answer y'all want to hear because, you know, you want me to say it's coming out tomorrow, but it's kind of is what it is, man. Who, in your opinion, is the best underground hip hop artist? I have no fucking idea. I don't even know who do you guys consider underground these days? I know out of the new MCs I've heard that haven't like hit that level yet where they just like big superstars, I think King Los is the best rapper. He's the best rapper that I've heard in a very long time. You know, like I can't really think of nobody else who could fuck with him really on no level when it comes to just putting the words together. And that's really kind of, you know, I don't really get into all of the numbers and what everybody is doing. And, oh man, did you see his views? And I don't really get into that type of shit. King Los can rap. And if you put King Los and somebody else in a room together and it was just about the bars, that other person would be in trouble. And that's pretty much what I've stood for my whole career. Coming into the game, that's how people talked about me. The OGs that came before me, that's how they talked about me. I appreciated it. That's what I came into the game for. And that's kind of like the cloth that I feel like Los is cut from. My little brother, Kid Vicious, is cut from that cloth. Something wrong, they just, it's like that. You know what I mean? So let me go to another question. What's your writing process and how do you come up with so many different flows? My writing process now is I come into the studio, probably this one, Mix Factory one. Usually I'm in here pretty much every day. If I'm not in here on a day, it's because I'm traveling or it's because my family is making me stay home, which I don't usually let them do. I usually try to be in here all the time. Even when I don't have ideas, I try to come in here because if you're an artist coming up, let me just tell you this. If you're an artist coming up, you got to realize, let's look at it like it's Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to Vegas, you do all of this gambling, you know, there's odds, there's a chance that you might win 9 times out of 10 or whatever the odds are, you're usually going to lose. That's why they say Vegas always wins, because it's just broken down by odds. So if you look at the studio, you got to think of the amount of times that you came up with something inside of these room right here, how many times you came up with something that you like or that worked or that people liked. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to stay in here as much as I can because I don't feel like it's going to happen for me at home. I don't feel like that thought it's going to change things for me. It's going to happen at home. So I try to keep my body inside of a studio at all times. So my writing process is basically just pull the beat up and then just let the pen go. Let the pen go if I'm jotting stuff down on my pad or if I'm just doing it in my head. Just let the thoughts go. Sometimes I go in the studio and just mumble different flows, try to find different pockets in the beat to try to do things that I don't feel other people are doing. And that's pretty much how I come up with the flows. You know, I come up with something that I think is magical and then I try to stick to it. It's almost like doing a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a pretty cool way to do it. Let me find another question. Marshmallow Mathers, at Marshmallow Mathers Show asks me, McDonald's or Taco Bell? Neither. I don't eat fast food. Like I don't even, man, listen. I don't even believe people still eat fast food. Like my body just does not react to that shit. Maybe when I was 17, like my son's age or some shit like that, but no more fast food for nickel. Sorry. What was the toughest battle you had at the Ebony Showcase? The toughest battle I had at the Ebony Showcase was probably between my crew, my crew was called Wall Street, and it was a crew called The Clinic. And they had this kid named Big Bucks, and he was nasty. Like it more so ended up being between like me and him. All of us actually ended up getting into a fight because the battle was just too intense. Because they came in and they rapped some shit about us, and then we got up. And as soon as they got off stage, we got on stage and we started rapping shit about them. And next thing you know, chairs was flying and all type of shit like that. But lyrically, Big Bucks is like, he was a problem. So that was probably my toughest battle. What do you think of this? What do you think of the situation of current rap? I think current rap is really cool. I think it's a lot of whack shit out. But I don't think that there's ever been a time in music and hip hop where there hasn't been whack shit. I don't think that the shit that out there is so whack where anybody needs to complain about it. I just think that there's a time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying? I think it can exist in nightclubs or wherever the fuck people are listening to it at. But I think there's a lot of really good music out there. A lot of really good music. I mean, I think Kendrick's album is great. I think Cole, everything Cole is doing is great. I think between Kendrick, Cole, Drake, Sean, Kendrick, Cole, Drake, and Sean. I mean, those four right there out of all the new guys. Wale, I think all of them are providing people with great music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's great. I think within that, it's a lot of bullshit, but you know, it's up to you what you want to listen to. What is your average daily routine like? What keeps you going, motivated throughout each day, especially in sobriety? You know what? I think as long as I can go to the studio, I'm fine. You know, sometimes I wake up, I go to the boxing gym. I hit some pads, hit some bags, or maybe I'd go to just the regular gym, the weight gym, lift a little bit of weights. But it all evolves around the studio with me. The studio makes me happy, man. If I can go to the studio every day, you won't get no complaints out of Nickel. I won't get no trouble. You don't hear about me getting into no fights with nobody, arguments with nobody. That shit is like fucking zen for me, like zen, studio. That's all I need. If I get engineers to work and people don't want to work my schedule, that's when I start getting upset. That's when I start arguing with people on Twitter. That's when me and my girl fall out. It all evolves around the studio for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Royce the 5'9" being able to work in the studio is Royce the 5'9" staying out of trouble. No arguing with people, no nothing. It's cool. Okay, let me find another question. Have you watched the fight of Russian boxer Fedor? I can't even pronounce this shit. Fedor. I'm sorry, Eminem Journal. I'm gonna have to go to another question, bro, because I can't read that. You got to give me some fighters from America. I usually watch more boxing than MMA, even though I like MMA. Let's go to some Twitter questions. Will Slaughterhouse do meet and greets for the next album run? Please say yes, yes, yes. Of course, we always do. We always do. One thing we always like to do with Slaughterhouse is we like to be very interactive with our fans because we're not like a radio group, you know. So meet and greets, we always enjoy doing that shit, man. Because a lot of our fans, we know them. Like my nigga Seth Allah, like I consider him a friend. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I wanted to give out this number. If you don't have the number, it's 313-789-0509. That's why I wanted to give out my number, because I feel like if I can straight up communicate with the motherfuckers who are straight up ride or die, then I would rather them get everything first, and I would everything go through them first before I push it out to the masses, you know, because those people, they never miss a show. I've never done anything in New York, Detroit, Cali, you know, where I feel I know these people at. I've never done something and they haven't showed up. It's like you see those same people and you've been going out to the same places years and years in a row, and you start to see them, you feel like you know them. They start to feel like family. You know what I'm saying? So Slaughterhouse, we're going to always do meet and greets. We love them. We love doing them. In 2 years, not really, you know, just more recording, more work, more hard work, continuing just to push the envelope, stay sober, obviously, no fucking drinking, maybe just a Monster Energy drink here and there, but even these in moderation. I don't even drink a lot of these because I get addicted to these, you know what I mean? And I don't, but I do love these. These are very, very fine energy drinks. Fantastic, delicious energy drinks. How'd you get such beautiful teeth? I have no idea. I have no idea really, because I drank for about 11 years straight, and you would think my shit would be like yellow, but it's not. I've always taken care of my teeth. I think it's like It's like an addict thing. It's like an OCD thing. I've always like cleaned my teeth and took care of them, taking care of them like I got OCD, you know, and I'm like constantly at the dentist. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just a little crazy. Let me see. Do you and M have a more professional relationship, or do you actually chill like as friends? That's a weird question. Like he's my friend. Like we're friends. We're friends. So it's like we chill as friends, but we normally talk about things hip hop, and some sports things. But you know, all we talk about is hip hop. Like that's all we really care about. You know what I mean? Like we still students of the game. You know, so when I get around him, I feel like I'm around another student of the game. I want to talk about student of the game type shit. So we're very aware of things that are happening, and we like to discuss those things amongst each other as friends, though, not as associates, if that makes any sense. Favorite bar that you've ever written, or favorite quote a rapper has ever said? I don't think that I have a favorite bar that I've written, but there's so many quotes that rappers have said. It's like crazy to me, man. I don't even know if I can think of one. I don't even know if I could think of one offhand. Is that a question that you can answer? Like if you've been listening to hip hop so many years and you've been touched by so many different artists' talent and things that people have said, like what's the one thing that will pop up in your mind that resonated with you? There's so many different things that resonated with me. It's almost like I draw a blank. I don't know. Let's go to an easier question. Who would you consider hopping in a battle ring with, and who would you want to battle? Also, who's your favorite battle rapper? My favorite battle rapper right now is Tay Rock. Tay Rock is my favorite. Tay Rock is my favorite battle rapper right now because he's mean. I like angry rappers. I like rappers who don't seem to be so fucking happy. Like I like angry lyrical rappers. Tay Rock raps like he wants to punch you in your face, but he does it in a very, very lyrical way. And I love that. I also like Danny Myers a lot. He's one of my favorite. I wonder how these guys continue to just come up with these high quality, angry, cerebral bars. It's amazing. So Tay Rock and Danny Myers. Charlie Clips is gonna always be one of my favorite because he adds the humor. He adds the humor to the bars. So I'm highly entertained when I hear him rap. It'll be kind of hard to beat Clips in the battle, and it'd be unanimous because he can always come up with that thing that's gonna make people laugh. You know what I'm saying? So Charlie Clips, Tay Rock, Danny Myers. I like Daylight a lot too. I know people like to hate Daylight because there's always so many antics and you never know what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But Daylight is very, very, very lyrical, incredibly lyrical MC. As far as who I would like to battle, I don't have anybody in mind. You know, I haven't even really thought about it. I would like to be more behind the scenes and just kind of helping those guys out. Of course, if I'm ever called out by anybody, I don't have no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't ever feel like I'm so far removed from the battle scene. But I have no desire to jump into the battle ring with a battle rapper. You know, if it was another like established just rapper, you know, on my side of things, I would probably consider that. But you know, that's like boxing and UFC, in my opinion. Who is your favorite NBA player in general? It's between Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant he's an alien. I don't understand how somebody his height can move around like that. I think since guys like Kevin Durant exist, if you got a child, I don't give a damn how tall he is, like teach him guard skills. Because that's where everything is going. It's went there already, but it's still going there. Every player on the floor is going to be able to play like a guard, going to be able to handle the ball like a guard, no matter how tall they are. And you just got to get with it. You know, shit is changing. I remember like guys like Magic Johnson, Elgin Baylor. It was just like, damn, man, they 6'9" point guards. Something that the game has never seen. Now that's nothing. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and then you got guys like Steph, who's just like all around is just great. You know what I mean? So Steph and Durant, my two favorite. First hip hop album you bought? Damn, I don't even remember. It was probably what was the first hip hop album that I bought? I don't even remember. It had to be like, was it Ice-T? Was it Ice-T's album? I remember my dad. I remember having the Fat Boys on the vinyl. We had the Fat Boys on it because I had an older brother. So if he gets an album, that means it's mine too, because we all listen to it. So we had Fat Boys on vinyl. We had Run DMC, Raising Hell. We had Ice-T, Power. We had Public Enemy. I don't remember which one of these we got first. This is just, it's like my childhood was kind of like a blur. Something like that though. One of those joints. Please speak on your battle rap history. Niggas don't know. Well, I kind of did that. Talking about like at the Ebony Showcase, but I'm also battle tested on wax, which I feel like is extremely important too. You know, because you can go to these clubs and rap face to face with people and you can win. And you can develop a buzz for doing that. And then, you know, when you start putting out records, especially if they're diss records about somebody, nobody really gives a shit because it's not good. I pride myself on being able to go make a good record, actually put a dope enough record together, especially if it's like 7 minutes or something to kind of keep your attention. So, you know, I think that's kind of cool too. Hi, you're in the rap game for a long time already. Can you name 3 the most important events for rap and hip hop? Name 3 of the most important events for rap and hip hop. I don't really understand that question, so I'm gonna go to a different question. What's something you're looking forward to doing this year? I'm definitely looking forward to putting out a couple of my albums. I'm looking forward to the Slaughterhouse album. I'm looking forward to doing future Bad Meets Evil work. I know me, myself, I want to put out a couple of albums. You know what I mean? I want the Prime Deluxe, I thought came at a pretty cool time. I'm definitely looking forward to doing some more work with Preem. That's always fun. You know what I mean? He's like one of my favorite people. Not even just in hip hop and music, but just one of my favorite people. You know, I like being around him and taking in that energy. I got a lot of great music, in my opinion, great music that I have solo that I've compiled. I probably got 3 albums that I'm just sitting on. I'm ready to start firing those off. Obviously, I want to do it in a way to where it coincides with Slaughterhouse, it coincides with Prime 2, and everything kind of makes sense, because it's been maybe 6, 7 years, 5 years since I put out a Royce solo album. So I think 2016 is going to be a big year for me in terms of releasing things. You know, being a part of a lot of music that's coming out, and just being more involved in the culture and just out and about, you know, and experiencing everything hip hop for this year, instead of being locked away in the studio. Because I spent most of my 2015 touring with Prime, recording for Slaughterhouse and recording a shitload of solo stuff. You know, so 2016, I want to start releasing a lot of music. If you still remember, let's go back to 2008. Tell us how the Slaughterhouse Band was created. Good question. Created Joey called me out of the blue. Now, me and Joe, we had some issues on wax. Like, he said some things about me on one of his songs. I can't even remember what he said in the song, but whatever it was pissed me off. It pissed me off real bad. Like, I wanted to like really do something to him. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't used to like people just saying my name out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And he just said my name out of nowhere, and it was like, you know, the same type of shit he do to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, that pissed me off. So I started working on the bar exams, and I was always saying his name and stuff. And it was like one of those kinds of situations where he was either going to respond to what I had to say, or because as far as online, like the internet, there were like a few people who were just making a lot of noise. Myself, Crooked, of course, Joel, Joe. It was some other people too, but we were like, I'm gonna just name us because it's leading to where I'm going. So what he did was, my man Mecca from The Source had an idea to put all of us on a song together. I think he may have went to Joe with the idea. Joe took the idea from Mecca. Oh, we were all supposed to redo Swagger Like Us. Okay, so T.I., Ye, Jay-Z, Wayne. Okay, so supposed to do the online version of that. Joe said, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just get a beat and I'm gonna just call all these niggas and ask them to get on the song and put it on my project. That's what he ended up doing. So he called me. I'm actually at the hospital. My wife is giving birth to one of my kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I know how old Slaughterhouse is. You know what I'm saying? So my wife is giving birth to one of my kids, and I get a call from Keno like, yo, Joe Budden want to get on the phone with you. I'm like, what the fuck you want to get on the phone with me for? He want to get on the joint with you. I'm no. So Keno like, yo, man, just talk to him, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking talk to him. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So he talked me into it. I get on the phone with him. Yo, what up? The nigga's really cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right, maybe I'm tripping. I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm just going a little far with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to Joe. I feel like Joe is cool. So we end up doing the song. Plus, I've always been a fan of him. I always thought he was like super dope. You know what I'm saying? So I put my feelings aside. I left actually the hospital. He said I needed immediately. I left the hospital. I went to the studio. I laid the shit down, came back. I sent it to him. I came back. And then he put it out. And the response to it was just like amazing. So he called me back and was like, yo, are you seeing this? Like, we need to do more work together. We need to do more stuff. And I was like, yo, you're absolutely right. So, you know, we started doing these meetings in New York. Like, whenever we would get together, we would do these meetings. I spent more time around Joe. Actually, I was recording with my man Bink in Jersey the next time I went out there. And I called him to the studio. We spent like a whole weekend just recording joints. And he turned out to be really cool. He actually turned out to be one of my closest friends, one of my coolest people. So it just goes to show, man, you can't judge a book by its cover. And you can't be so quick just to cut people. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my man Joe. And what we did was we just kept doing meetings. You know, then I started seeing Joel. I started getting to know Joel better. Crooked, I always was a fan of. I started to get to know him better, and we just started doing more stuff together, and the group kind of formed from there. So let me go to another question. According to what's your favorite tattoo that you have? I would have to say all of my kids' faces. On my side, I got one child missing because I just had a baby a year ago, but all of my kids' faces is probably my favorite one. Shout out to my man Grin Styles, because he's very good at that. Shout out to my man. Are there any more Prime hoodies available? Absolutely. Actually, they are available. The next, I guess if you order it through my network, through my phone number, I just may give you a call. That's another thing that I wanted to put aside some time to do that I haven't had a chance to do yet. You know, I know I've sent a few people some happy birthday texts. I don't want you to think that it's like some fucking executive sitting behind a desk sending this stuff out for me. Like, I actually do it myself. I just been real busy in the studio, but when I get some time, I'm gonna actually call some people. Especially if you buying merchandise through my network. I'm definitely gonna give you a call, a thank you call, and just kick it with you about whatever you want to talk about. Because I like doing that kind of shit, contrary to popular belief. What made you stop drinking? Well, number one, I want to live. I went to the hospital because I knew I was gonna have to go to the hospital in order to stop, because my drinking had got so bad. Like, if I didn't drink, I'd be shaking. Like, I get the shakes, and I was having all kind of alcohol withdrawals, and it was just too bad, man. Like, I felt like a bum. You know what I'm saying? Like, be about to go to sleep and be shaking if you ain't drinking enough, and you know that shit will kill you in your sleep. You know, because it's like a blood thinner, so your heart feels like it has to pump more. It has to pump more blood or some shit. Like, if you haven't, I don't really understand how it goes, but I know one night I laid in the bed after not really drinking that much, and I was like almost dozing off, and then I just, like, my heart just sped up real fast, and I just jumped up out the bed and landed on my feet, pouring in sweat. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, all right, man, it's time for me to stop. And I was like making like a bunch of dumbass decisions, like getting into all kind of shit with my wife, and like just all kind of crazy shit. So I knew there was a certain corner that I was trying to turn in my career that I'm turning right now still. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that, not in my right frame of mind. And then plus my son is getting a little bit older. My daughter calls me now. Like, she doesn't like have to go to nobody and say, can you help me call dad? Like, she knows exactly how to call me. She knows how to FaceTime me. She'll call me when I'm in the booth. When are you coming home? Okay, hurry up, come home. You know what I mean? And she's at that age. I can't imagine being able to handle that shit in a way where it's cool and I'm still drunk all the time, because I'm not the kind of drinker who likes to just drink a little bit in moderation. I either got to get fucked up or I can't drink at all. Like, there's no in between with me. Very, very extreme, you know, and I never really understood how somebody could just have a couple of drinks. And I always knew that about myself. My dad told me, like, when I was young, he told me, don't ever get involved in drugs and drink. Thank God I never got involved in drugs like that. He told me, don't ever get involved in drugs and drinking, because you're not going to be able to do it like your friends do it. You wired different. You know, I'm genetically predisposed to being a fucking addict, you know, so I just decided I wanted to stop. You know, I wanted to keep my family. I ain't want to be one of those niggas who go through a career in hip hop, and then when it's all said and done, I'm sitting here and it's like this big fucking whirlwind around me of just debris and friends left behind and family gone, and I don't have no family or nothing to show for it. All I'm sitting around is fucking Benzes and fucking Bentleys alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that person, you know? So, like, my wife been with me since I was a baby, since I was 18 years old. We raised each other. So I didn't want to like make other moves and be that cliche guy who just loses family and lose everything to liquor and, you know, making dumbass decisions and letting hip hop just eat them up and thinking you got to live a certain lifestyle in order to be cool without that shit. You know what I'm saying? So will we ever see Glass House? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got my word on that. Do you get frustrated with the fact that rappers of less quality are out getting more radio time and money for that matter? No, I don't get frustrated at anything that other people are doing. I don't even really pay that any attention. And radio play is not something that I'm not a big, that's not like a big meter for me. You know, I haven't really cared about radio play in a long time. I don't feel like that every artist wants radio play or is going for that. I'm myself, you know, I feel like, yeah, okay, you can play shit on the radio, but I want to make, I just, at this point in my career, I just want to do cool shit. I want to make complete projects. I want to make projects that are going to last. Illmatic didn't have anything for the radio on it, you know, and that whole project has lasted in time. Reasonable Doubt as a body of work has lasted in time. So in my mind, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. I want to be that. And it's, as long as you, as an artist, you set your mind on something in particular and know what it is, then that's cool. Some artists feel like, yo, I want to be famous. I want to be all over the radio. All right, well, as long as you know what you want and you shoot for that, then that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just shoot for it. Shoot for what you love and shoot for what you want to be and where you see yourself being. I never saw myself as being extremely famous and all over the radio. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I want to make good music. I want to make good music based around the type of style that I have and not conforming to anything else and not changing too much. I want to grow and develop, but I don't want to change to a whole different person and start talking about shit that's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, that I don't even want to discuss, and start dumbing down techniques and doing all kinds of stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it completely goes away from what made me fall in love with the art to begin with. So like I was saying before, man, like the next 5 people in my network, let me go into my network now. The next 5 people in my network that orders hoodies, I think I'm gonna call all y'all. Let me see, let me look at some other questions. Do you know if there's any plans to sign someone new to Shady? That I don't know. I don't know, but I would imagine that there would be plans. I mean, Shady Records is a very viable label. I definitely think that they should, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm the guy that can answer that question, but I'm pretty sure at some point they got to sign somebody to keep shit going. What do you think about Rakim, Nas, and Big L? I think they're great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, all of these guys changed my life in terms of being an artist. You know, I just wish I would have had a chance to meet Big L. I got into the game just a tad bit too late. I just missed him. Just missed him before his untimely death. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think those guys are juggernauts in the game. And I think Big L, I think he checked out of here a little too early, man, because he was on his way to greatness. You know, when he was alive, in my opinion, he was better than Jay-Z back then. To me, that's just my personal opinion. And I feel like Jay-Z is one of the greatest artists ever. And I think Big L was better than him back then. And it would have been a pleasure to be able to see where he would have took it. Just crazy. So, what is your favorite place to eat in Detroit? Now I would have to say Cafe Cortina. Cafe Cortina on 10 Mile in Orchard Lake. It's my favorite place to eat. It's a very, very dope Italian restaurant. And I'm not real big on Italian food, but it's always so fresh. The food is fresh. They grow all their like vegetables and fruit and shit in the garden right behind the building. And it's just really, really good food, man. The service is real dope. Favorite place, Cafe Cortina. Let me take one more question. What is your favorite TV show right now? Yo, listen, man. I don't watch a lot of TV. Obviously, when I do get some time out of the studio, maybe if I take a break for a couple of days, I'm gonna try to watch Power, Empire, all watching. I haven't really been an avid TV watcher since The Wire. Those are still my favorite shows. The Wire and Entourage. I know I sound like I'm kind of old school, like a few years back, but nothing has came out that has topped The Wire and Entourage to me. I'm sorry. Who you plan on getting on Prime to? Right now, definitely got some MCs in mind. I don't want to give them away. But I'm gonna reach out to a couple of people. You know, this time I'm not gonna do it myself this time. No, this time I'm gonna sit down with Preem and we're gonna decide who we think would be a good go for that. But it's obviously got to just be somebody. I mean, y'all know who out there who's spitting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just got to be somebody who's about the art, who's spitting that shit, and that's who we want to work with. We don't want to work with nobody for any other reason than that. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody where we can come out with great records that are gonna stick in time. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna last in hip hop. That's what we're trying to do. Best advice for up and coming artists: just be consistent and just work all the time. Don't take time off. Don't spend a whole lot of your time partying and doing a whole lot of shit that's gonna distract you from what you're supposed to be doing. This shit is a job. It's a job, and the people that are treating it like a job and are constantly taking steps to further their brand, which I hate using that word brand because I feel like it's a very overused word in the culture today. But people who are looking forward, they're the ones that's making it. So you just got to stay consistent and you just do whatever you got to do to get that light on you, to get people paying attention to you, because it's not about nothing no more. It's not like you got a bunch of people, executives at offices signing people because they think people are talented. No, they're looking at numbers, they're looking at viewership, they're looking at all of these things, and nobody knows what they like in it. You know what I mean? So you just got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing until something happens. And then when the opportunity hits you, you just got to be prepared. All right. So make sure y'all subscribe to my page. The link is here. The link is also going to stay in my bio too. It's going to stay in my bio too on my Instagram page. And hold on, let me answer a couple more questions. I wish I had somebody who can fucking for me. Who were your favorite artists growing up? That's easy. Redman, Razzcast, Jay-Z, Nas, E40, Snoop, Outkast. I'm naming all of my favorite artists that I can think of before I got into the business. I got to pop up on here. And not just Andre 3000. I like Big Boy too. I don't know why people separate them so much, but they both fucking great in my book. Let me see. I know it's somebody I'm forgetting. Cannabis. Cannabis was definitely one of my favorite artists. Who else we got? The Chronic album. The Chronic album was definitely, the Chronic album in my book is probably the greatest hip hop album ever made. That's just in my opinion. The Chronic album. I don't know. Let me know if y'all agree with that. What do y'all think is the greatest hip hop album of all time? I think The Chronic is probably my favorite. Coogee Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Run DMC, though I was always back and forth who I like more between Run and DMC. LL Cool J. LL Cool J probably trumps everybody. Probably trumps everybody, because I used to learn all of LL's choreography from his videos, like the I'm Bad video. I learned the choreography from it. If that shit was even choreographed, I don't know. But all of his moves, all of the dance moves and shit, I learned them. And my father used to have people over, like his friends over. They watched like the games and shit. And they be drinking and shit. Then I hear, Run, hey, come in here and do the LL Cool J. And he would have me do like the whole choreography from the fucking video for his friends, and they'd be looking at it like, oh man, this is fucking great. So LL Cool J was the man. All right, so this concludes the Royce da 5'9" live stream. Once again, thank you for your continued support. The number is 313-789-0509. I'm going to definitely do this again sometime soon. Be on the lookout for a phone call from me if you're in my network from my phone. I'm going to probably be calling you soon, especially if you buy merchandise from us, be that a Prime hoodie or whatever that we got. And yo, man, I'm just thankful to be here. I'm thankful to fucking be alive. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. I love y'all motherfuckers, man. Peace. Out. Be on the lookout for the Slaughterhouse album and be on the lookout for everything Royce da 5'9" and Prime. All right? Peace.